Hello, this is ConsulTX here for the Heat Signature Daily Challenge for February 7th, 2019. Today's Heat Signature Daily Challenge is Margarita Parabola, who wants to steal 3 parts of the Polaris experiment, and it's a no harm theft. Margarita Parabola is a tough X glitcher with a pretty much useless short blade because it's no harm, but a very useful self-charging long-range swapper. So, it's a steal mission, so there's no tricks to be done swapping with people from space, because nobody exists. So assassination, capture, and rescue targets exist regardless of whether you are in the ship or not. But regular guards don't exist until you enter the ship that they're in. Oh, shoot. I got a little bit too close and I started the timer on the mission. Oh, 9-second dock. That's not good. Yeah, I started the timer on the mission pretty much immediately, while I wasn't moving towards the ship at all. So that was not good. So what is going on here? Well, so I have one point of recourse. It's no harm. I could just teleport to Guard Swanze, steal the item, and then depart. I would like to also take this crate. Is there any way for me to do that without wasting a lot of time? The alarm response is reinforcements. Gosh, I wish I had a way to make noise, because this short blade is just not... Oh, X glitcher and long range. No wonder my radius is so freaking huge. Yeah, I can't kill any guards to take their guns. I wish I could lure these guys out from... away from the crate. I just don't think that that's going to be possible. I might need to just give up on this crate. I suppose I will give up on the crate. So this guy is going to shoot at me, but that's okay. I will dodge the bullet. What is the Polaris experiment? It is a glitch? No, it's a sidewinder. So if I swapped with this guy, yoinked the key card, ran, grabbed the crate, I could sidewind out when he came after me. But then I'd have to wait for the swapper to come back. Oh, I don't actually have a way off the ship, because I can't run out the window, because I don't have a way to break windows. And this is a sidewinder, so this doesn't break windows. So actually I have to do something of the sort. And because I have to do something of the sort, I might as well steal this key card. Okay, and then now I have clearance, so I will switch with this guy, run up to this crate. Okay, good. Yoink this item, rechargeable subverter, and then he is going to open the door for me, and then I can sidewind to over here. Hopefully I have another use on the sidewinder. Yeah. Alright, cool. So now I have a subverter that I wouldn't have otherwise had. So that is a good pickup to make up for my mediocre docking job, hopefully. That's actually really interesting. The fact that you don't have a way to break windows as this character means that the steal item really matters a whole lot there. And the steal items are not consistent across everybody's game. So, like, if somebody got a gun, they could just leave the ship right away and save more time. But because I got a sidewinder, it was pretty easy for me to get the subverter. I still don't have a way to break windows, though. Although nobody will at this point unless they buy something in the shop. Speaking of the shop, it is a no-harm daily, and the shop is sometimes worth using the no-harm daily in a no-harm daily. Crash beams. Nothing in this shop breaks windows either. There's just no way to break windows in this daily. Okay. Alright, it's this one, minimize harm, alarm response light reinforcements, and guards with emergency shields. So the emergency shields are actually kind of nice, because by the time anybody shoots their gun, hopefully anybody who they would shoot with their gun will have an emergency shield up. But I still don't have a way to break windows. So the only way I'd be able to break a window is by convincing a guard to shoot out the window, and that seems like it would be likely to result in guards floating in the void of space. That was a much better docking job. 4 seconds, quite good. So what do I want to do? I could run to the left here. I would attract this guy's attention and maybe this guy's attention. What's the alarm response? Reinforcements? Okay, I'm quite okay with that. There'd be no way for me to subvert these two doors at the same time. Oh, I can just swap. Yeah, what the heck am I thinking? There's no crates or anything. I'm just gonna run down, switch with this guy, run over to the door, grab this on the way. No, I'll just subvert the door. And then by that time, my swapper will hopefully come back, and then I'll swap back over. Yeah, okay. That's definitely the way to go. So who has the gun? This guy has a sword. So even if he sees me, everything will be okay. It's just this guy shooting Guard Swanze. Guard Vietzan and Guard Swanze have a grudge, and Guard Vietzan wants any opportunity he can to murder Guard Swanze, so I need to make sure he doesn't do that. I also need to make sure that I don't get stabbed right now as I line up this swap. Okay. So then I switch, and then I head over to the steel item. He will notice me, but that's... Oh, he didn't notice me. That's even better. I'm just too sneaky. Alright. And then I could use this subverter, but it's even faster for me to not use the subverter. So I'm going to be that greedy and just subvert this door and yoink this crate that way. Alright, and then hopefully the Polaris experiment, it's a swapper. Okay, well that's still good. It looks like it's a long-range swapper or an extreme range. It's an extreme range swapper. Okay, well, let's swap with Guard Ballwinder. And then let's... I want to actually attract the ire of Guard Swanze so that he does not get shot by his compatriots. So he should... Oh, please activate your emergency shield, Guard Swanze. You fool! It's like I convinced him to look over at me, but I didn't attract his attention soon enough. Okay, well, so that was a pretty big oversight. So the way I could have avoided that was I could have stood there for longer so that Guard Vietzan wouldn't have had time to... So that Guard Swanze would have activated his emergency shield before Guard Vietzan decided to shoot me. But instead, I was relying on Guard Swanze activating his emergency shield in response to seeing me earlier and just running out, which was a little bit too much faith. He was not quick enough on the draw, and it cost him his life. At least I get this gun for the next mission. Gosh, that's so annoying. So what other ways could I have dealt with that? Well, I had two swapper uses. So the dangerous people like Guard Vietzan, I could have swapped with Guard Vietzan and then swapped with whoever it was up here, which would give me a little bit more leeway. So maybe that would have been a better way to go about things. The other thing I could have done was I could have swapped over to Guard Smilla and then run down to the telepad and left. If I had done that, that would have been less risky, probably, but that also seems like an unnecessarily roundabout way of escaping when I can just swap with a guard who's right here and then run up to my ship. So now there's no problem, because the guys with guns, I can just dodge their bullets if I need to, if they're even going to hit me. Yeah, but as I was saying, Guard Vietzan and Guard Swanze had an ongoing grudge, and Guard Vietzan was looking for any opportunity he could get to take out Guard Swanze, and I gave him that opportunity. I thought Guard Swanze was going to activate his emergency shield, but he did not, and he died for it, which is really, really inconvenient for me. I mean, it sucks for his family and all that, but what's really important is the minus 10 points that I got because of his fumbling with his emergency shield. Gosh, that's so frustrating. Oh shoot, what did I leave? Alright, hold on. I left something in the stash. I forgot what it was. Oh, it's the acid trap. Probably not useful, but it's a gadget to throw, so it's not worthless. I am going to go to this airlock because I have that key cloner. I also have a subverter. Let's see. What's the way through here? Well, I could subvert this, run over, and then swap with one of these guys, yoink level 4, and then run out. This is the only guy with a gun. What's the alarm response? The alarm response is 56 seconds. Oh, okay, so that's actually a pretty good alarm response. So I'd run out here. This guy would take a shot at me. I would probably have opened this door by that point, which means that these guys would get alerted. If I just run to the right, I can dodge any bullets. I need this clearance. I won't have used the key cloner at that point. So, okay. I will have used the subverter. The other thing I could do is, I can't extreme range key cloner there, but I can. Oh, now I have a way to break windows, which is actually quite nice. That means I can create checkpoints, like over here when I run through here, I can shoot this out. But yeah, so I think this starts with me subverting this one. And then I'm going to run down straight into danger. And he's going to take a shot, but that's okay. I will dodge that shot. I'm just going to go to the right to start, and then I can dodge the shot to the left to start, and then I can dodge the shot to the right, which lets me yoink this key card. And then, how far am I from being able to swap with people? So I could swap with these guys and run through. I think I'm going to grab this crate. That's probably worthwhile. Uh-oh. Ooh, that's bad. Okay, not an absolute disaster, but it does put a clock on me that I might need to worry about. And it puts those guys in an inconvenient spot for re-entering the ship. So, just need to be a bit careful. This wasn't going to be an easy ship to run through, regardless. Oh, the guys are not anywhere near. So I'm going to just shoot this gun here, lure that guy up. Oh, I should have frickin' shot that gun before. There was no need for me to run through like I did. Okay, so I'm going to run down. Those guys are going to see me. That guy's going to take a shot, but that's okay. I want to run as far down as I can, go, and switch with Guard Truth. Whoa, oh yeah, okay, that was weird. It looked like it yoinked my camera up rather than down, which was terrifying, but it was fine. Okay, so that guy is too far from me. Wow, that was lucky. That could have been a disaster. I'm just going to grab level 5 here, and then I'll use my Sidewinder to get to the next place I need to go, which is over here. So then I will come through here. I will shoot this gun, which lures those guys over. And then I will yoink this key card. I have another swapper use, so I will swap with Guard Starspelt. And then I need level 7 clearance, which I can just get right there. I'm going to steal this item. Yoink this. What is it? It is a glitch trap? Yes. Don't want that. So, my good friend Guard Orchard is going to open the door for me, which will allow me... Oh wait, I can just swap with the pilot, and then I can sidewind over to this window, and I can leave out the window. Yeah, so that one was a bit fraught with difficulty. I totally messed up by not just using my my gun to lure that first pot of guards around. Like, of course that was the thing to do. And I just completely slipped my mind, even though I knew I had the gun and I knew it was capable of making noise. Totally slipped my mind, but that's alright. Because, I mean, it's alright because I already got this -10 penalty from a very minor oversight, I think. Not even an oversight, just like, what was it? Strategy, tactics, or execution. Those are the kinds of errors that you can run into. I guess it was a tactical error. I misunderstood how long it would take for Guard Swanze to reactivate his or to activate his emergency shield. And I could have done a few things, actually. I only had one swapper use left at that point. But I could have anticipated that danger and swapped Guard Vietzan away. The other thing I could have done was just position myself better, so that because Guard Swanze, after I threw the gadget at him, he was going to look at me. So I could, and once they see you, they will activate their emergency shields. So that would have been fine. But unfortunately, I didn't give him enough time because I walked back into sight, and then Guard Vietzan took the shot. So yeah, so that was just very unfortunate. That's a no harm classic. And I could have just waited around the corner longer, and then Guard Swanze would have lived, and I would have gotten the #1 score, although I've done this very early after the daily opened up, and as you can see, there are only 6 people who have played it thus far. But I think 150 is a pretty good score. I definitely think it isn't the fastest time, especially because I also saved time by having a loud weapon, or a quiet gun, but a gun that can make noise, on the last ship. So the last ship would have taken me longer without that. And I also took a long time on the first ship. I also didn't do the last ship quickly. I got thrown out the airlock once as well. But the first ship, I was also pretty slow. Like, my docking job was a travesty. But yeah, so... I mean, I definitely would have gotten 150 is definitely a pretty good time on a no harm daily like this one, but it definitely, I don't think it would have been #1 even if I hadn't got this penalty. And then I got the penalty, and well, those sovereign guards, they're vindictive people, and not in the breacher way where they drop concussive grenades. No, they like murder. They'll drop a regular grenade when you knock them out, killing everybody, including themselves. That's the kind of thing that you would expect from a sovereign guard. And Guard Vietzan is no difference, as Guard Swanze could attest if he was still alive. But he isn't, because Guard Vietzan murdered him in cold blood while he wasn't even looking. So yeah. He pulled the trigger so fast that Guard Swanze didn't even have time to activate the emergency shield. That's how little hesitation Guard Vietzan had. I don't know, like, that just doesn't seem like the kind of coworker you want to have. Like, it seems like an even more dangerous business to be working with Sovereign, you know? It's like, if Off-World goes too far in one direction, Sovereign goes too far in the other direction. It's like off-world is like the breacher can just break back onto your ship over and over and over and over again until they eventually steal the item because you can't actually hurt them. Whereas sovereign, everybody just dies. Everyone dies. So, yeah, consider that a warning. Don't work for sovereign.